guys, how are you? So you're looking into sourcing some products from China, but perhaps you're a little bit apprehensive. We've all heard the horror stories of people, having rubbish turn up or the money disappear. Don't worry, I'm here to walk you through some of the safety measures that are absolutely 100% necessary to put in place so these things don't happen. Once you understand the process, it's relatively risk-free. So who am I? I'm a product sourcing consultant. I've got a history in e-commerce, so I learned some of this stuff for myself, doing it the hard way, but I'd love to share with you some of the tips and tricks and the systems we put in place to make this a risk-free transaction. So firstly, the number one thing that you need to do when you're vetting suppliers is getting product samples, and I'd recommend not just getting them from one, but getting them from 2, 3, 4 different suppliers, depending on the size of the order. So order all these samples at once, get your 3 or 4, because if you wait, 2 or 3 weeks for one, wait 2 or 3 weeks for the next, suddenly it's a couple of months and you still don't have a supplier. So pay the extra money, on cheap items, they'll give you the sample for free, and you'll just have to pay postage. On more expensive items, say you're getting a microphone or some other electronic product, they'll probably charge you about retail value for these, so they are marked up. That's only to stop sort of savvy retail buyers going in there and getting cheap products posing as wholesalers. It's totally worth spending the money on it. It's really not a huge expense to your business, and it verifies the supplier from the get-go. This isn't the only safety measure that you need to put in place, but it's one of a few, and it's very, very important. A lot of people skimp on this and just get a video or some pictures. I really advise against doing that, especially if this is you're in retail or wholesale and you want to keep turning these products over. You need to get a good supplier that's going to support you for the foreseeable future until you grow out of them, or something else happens and you change industries. So moving on, probably the next safety net is the biggest safety measure we need to take into account, and that's leveraging Alibaba to its full extent. So there's 2 main parts of this. The first is Alibaba Trade Assurance. This essentially just helps us build a virtual contract that Alibaba will take note of if there's a dispute. We'll have our payment terms, delivery date, item specifics, etc. And then the second one is Alibaba Secure Payment. This used to be called Alibaba Escrow. Basically, with this system, the money doesn't actually go to the supplier yet. It just sits in escrow in a Citibank account that Alibaba has control of. And once the transaction has been complete, then the supplier gets the money. But if there's a dispute, Alibaba hangs on to it. That's when the Alibaba Trade Assurance comes in handy. You can prove exactly, what the deal was that you had going on, and if you've done everything properly, then then you'll be returned your money and the supplier will be returned their goods. Again, I'm not going to go into this in too much detail, as I've got another entire blog coming up and going into all the specifics of this. So the last safety net we need to touch on is inspections. This is vitally important. Please don't skimp on this. They only cost generally sort of $100 to $300 US. For 90% of you small business owners, this is just going to be a post-production inspection. So basically, the day that all the goods are finished, the inspection company will liaise with the factory. They'll organise a time to come and have a look at them. The guys that are looking at them are experts. They know, they only do one certain industry, and they know everything about it. They'll come and look at it. They'll test some of them, like say it's disposable coffee cups. They'll turn up and they'll put coffee in however many of them. And they'll test that they're all good. They'll test for leakages, they'll test for imperfections, they'll look at the paint quality on whatever it is. These inspections are honestly worth their weight in gold. Say you're spending $1,000 to $10,000 on an order of stock, you don't want to chance it. You don't want this to be like, I hope it's all right. You want to know when it leaves the factory that it's in good condition, and when it turns up to you that it's still going to be in good condition. So honestly, these things, please don't skimp on these. These are some of the most valuable things you can do in international international sourcing. So just recapping here, guys, the 3 most important things that we need to do when we're vetting our suppliers: get some samples so we know who we're dealing with. Spend the money on it, get them all at the same time, get things moving. The next thing is leveraging Alibaba, so using trade assurance to build that virtual contract. Use Alibaba Secure Payments to make sure you don't lose your money anywhere along the way. And thirdly, get a product inspection done at the end. So make sure it is what it's meant to be. So if you really think this still sounds like too much work, contact me. I'm Sam Strang. I run Targeted Product Solutions. I've been sourcing things from China for quite some time. I'm working as a consultant, not a middleman, so I'm not here to take a percentage. I just take a flat fee. But if you guys are interested in saving some costs and sourcing directly from China, please shout out, as I'd love to hear from you. But I'll see you next time.